Morning, Knicks Nation. Today is Monday, the 29th of June, 2025. I hope you're safe and healthy today and that you enjoyed your weekend, and that your family is safe and healthy, and all of you enjoyed your weekend. Blessings upon those that work in health, along with first responders every day trying to save lives. Those also that pick up garbage, keep our places clean, and those that make deliveries for our convenience. Double blessings on the men and women trying to help rescue, deliver, and recover teenagers and children, victims of child molestation and pedophilia. Those that are in the business of helping those that are victims of prostitution, child prostitution, pornography, child pornography, human trafficking, and sex slavery. Double curses on all the perpetrators, the profiteers, and the perverts that create the demands that cause these industries to exist. Finally, double blessings on the homeless. More than 700,000 men, women, children, families, senior citizens, military veterans, homeless in the United States. Blessings upon them, for theirs is the kingdom. So yesterday, when I was doing my podcast, if you notice, it only lasted about 8 minutes because I got a lightning bolt that hit my house yesterday. And it knocked out my power temporarily, but it knocked out my internet modem permanently. So my internet modem was dead after that surge that came yesterday. I got surge protection, but it didn't seem to matter. Came right through, knocked out the modem. So they're coming today to get me a new modem. Meantime, I don't have internet, which is why I'm doing this on my phone like I normally do, but I won't be able to upload it with any special things until later. But I'm going to have a podcast tonight like I was going to have yesterday when we got rudely interrupted. And we'll continue our discussion. Like yesterday and today, discussion is free agency. And it's very simple for the Knicks. They're not going after any free agents that's out their team. Their biggest free agents are the guys they already have. The biggest challenge is to re-sign their own players because of the salary issues, the salary cap. And they're over the first apron right now. They just declined, as we expected to do, PJ Tucker's $3.5 million, and they picked up Ariel Hooporty's $2 million, which we expected. So they should be about $10 million or so under the second apron. They can't use the $5.7 million mid-level exception unless they are comfortable staying under $207 million for the season, which means they won't be able to make any mid-season moves, which almost every year they do. So the $5.7 million mid-level exception, if it's going to be used, it's going to be used on a player they already have, which the two biggest candidates are Landry Shamet and Precious Achiewa. So we don't know if they're going to use it, and they can only give them a contract length of 2 years. It cannot go further than that for this. So we don't know what they're going to do, but they're going to try to keep both players. If they're able to, that would be good because that's what we want. The biggest need for the Knicks is to retain the same team that went to the ECF. Without saying it, by the actions taken in firing Tom Thibodeau, by that, what that says is that the Knicks felt that Tibbs should have got more out of the roster. That's why they fired him. Okay, so the coach they're trying to hire, whoever it be, and they're going to give Taylor Jenkins and Mike Brown second interviews. They're also interviewing Dawn Staley. I think that's just out of courtesy and political correctness, which the Knicks do that. So, but they're going to second interview Taylor Jenkins and Mike Brown. And what they're looking for, among other things, is a guy that can get the most out of this roster. This is the roster that went to the Eastern Conference Finals. If Tibbs could have squeezed more by lengthening his rotation, say, then he might have been in the finals, right? And so they went and got Karl Anthony Towns with the idea of winning it all. Now, Towns came late. You know, he came, it wasn't his fault, but the deal was made in the training camp time of the year. And it didn't have a lot of time to get acclimated to the Knicks. So there was, there was a time of adjustment, which we know. But I feel like they want the Knicks management, the Don and the management, they're looking for a coach that will get the most out of this roster. Get the most out of Karl Anthony Towns, get the most out of Brunson, get the most out of the roster. Which means to me, it just needs to be more efficient use of the rotation. You have enough talent to go with a 10-man rotation on this roster. So they have enough talent to do that. So that's what they're looking for. And with the way that Don has expertly structured this roster in terms of the financial considerations, they have at least 3 more full seasons with this roster. They're going to re-sign Mikal Bridges. It's just academic in my view. There's no drama to that. They're going to re-sign Mikal Bridges. They're going to probably extend Mitchell Robinson. Okay, they're going to extend Mitchell Robinson, and so you're going to have that team. The only question marks are Delon Wright, Landry Shamet, and Precious Achiewa. Those are the question marks. Precious has already expressed his desire to come back to New York, especially now that Tibbs is not there. For whatever reason, Tibbs would play Precious when everybody was hurt, get production from him, and then stop playing him. I don't know what was going on, but it looks like now that Tibbs is not back, Precious is more hopeful. Precious is from New York, so he might want to stay here. I don't know what the price tag is going to be, but the Knicks are limited in what they can offer him. So we have to see. Shamet is a player that's going to be of value to every team. He's that glue guy that comes off your bench that can hit threes in a playoff spot and play lockdown defense to help stop runs from the opponent. And so I don't know what he's going to command. I know the Knicks could probably just offer him a veteran minimum, which would probably be like $3.5 million. But that's what the deal is. DeLon Wright's 33. He'll probably accept a vet minimum. So that's good. And so we have that. So this team is built financially and in terms of their ages, in terms of their prime. They're built to run for 3 more seasons before they start trading off assets. So that is enough time to win a championship. And if we get the right coach that can play a 10-man rotation, that knows defense, that knows how to win on the defensive end of the floor with this particular team, which, this is the thing. They got Ariel Hooporter. They picked up his $2 million. He's a defensive player. That's his calling card. They're bringing in James Naji, another defensive player. They just drafted Mohamed Diawara, another defensive player. You seen the theme here? So they're getting defensive-oriented players cheap. Media and fans like to focus on offense because it's more exciting to watch. But if you want to win a championship, you better learn how to get stops and play defense on a high level. So the Knicks are obviously setting that up. And if you get a James Naji, you get Diawara, you got Hooporter. Now you got 3 more defensive players to pair with guys like Deuce, guys like Precious if you keep him, guys like Mitchell Robinson. You got more defensive players to pair with them. Diawara might go back to France. It depends on how he performs. This summer league is a huge summer league for a lot of the youngins. All of them are going to have big stakes in this summer league. Kolick, Porty, McCullough, all of them, Beauchamp, they're going to have big stake, a lot of stake in this summer league to show the brass that they're ready to play and ready to play, NBA minutes against NBA players. That's what we're going to find out. Mohamed Diawara is coming into the situation first. The first thing is he's only 20, so they're not cutting him. The question is he going to be on this roster with Daddier, or is he going back to France to stash for another year, which it only will take 1 more year in my view. He's 20 years old, 6'8", 7-foot wingspan, can play defense. He's still raw, but he's got a lot of talent, in my view, to get to the NBA. I think he's an NBA player, in other words. And that's what he's got to prove. He's got to prove in this summer league he's an NBA player. See, that's what most people don't understand. You already assume because they're playing summer league, they can play in the NBA. That's not true. Look at Moses Brown. Moses Brown is not an NBA player. Okay? He's not. If he was, this is what most people ignore because of their fantasies. If a guy is an NBA player, guess what? He's going to be in the NBA. Unless he has some sort of attitude problem or locker room problem, if he's talented enough to play in the NBA, he's going to play in the NBA. If he's not, then he won't. There's 30 teams. Every team has a scouting department. They don't miss much. So if a guy is good enough to be on the NBA roster, some team's going to sign him. Okay? And if you don't see him picked in the draft or in the NBA roster, guess what? He's probably not good enough to play in the NBA. Okay? Just because a guy shows you a whole bunch of dunk highlights don't mean he can play in the NBA. Every guy that's 6'8" or better should dunk, right? So that's not a big deal. But Not everybody could play in the NBA. So in summer league, you want to see if you have an NBA player. Pacome Daddier could play in the NBA. He's already proven that. James Najee has to prove he can play in the NBA. I think he can. Muhammad Diawara also can play in the NBA, but he has to prove it because he's young. Just like Daddier was last year, 19. He has to prove he can play in the NBA. Okay? And so they have to prove that. Then you have Bo Champ. He can play in the NBA. He's already proved that. Question is, can he stick on this roster? Is he good enough to play in a championship level team? See, playing on a championship level team is not like playing for a team in the lottery. A championship level team, you got to be tight. You want one spot of, 15? You got to be good. Okay? And then if you're looking to get rotation minutes, you better be very good. You're talking about a championship level team. We're not talking about a team that just won 20 games last year like they used to be. This is a team that was third in the East and went to the Eastern Conference Finals. You want to make this team? You got to show you're good enough. That's what Summer League's going to show. It's going to be a lot of fight in Summer League. It's going to be good. So that's a key thing. So can they re-sign Shamet and Achiewa and DeLon Wright? Shamet, I think, is the favorite of all those to be the most likely one, unless Shamet gets a huge offer, which he could. This is the thing, though. Each year is a little different in the NBA, in this, financially speaking. Some years, money is flowing. And dudes that may not have got big contracts could get big contracts that, quite frankly, they may not even be worth because the money's flowing. Then there's other years where the money's tight and guys that are worth more than they're getting are going to get what they can. This year, the money's tight because of the tax bill of teams that they got to pay, and they want to get below a certain tax threshold. They're not giving out big contracts this year. So you can maybe, if you're a team like the Knicks, you can get a Precious Achua below his market, or a Landry Shamet below what he might get when the money's flowing. This year, it's not flowing, see? So everybody's being fiscally responsible to not pay the luxury tax. Particularly, this is true of all teams, but it's particularly true of teams that ain't even sniffed, the Eastern or Western Conference Finals. If you're a team like Chicago, or you're a team like Toronto, you don't in nowhere near a luxury tax, and your team is not even the playoff team. Okay, so you're going to try to get as cheap, and that's what Sam Presti did in Oklahoma City. He went and got a whole bunch of picks. He got a whole bunch of players out the draft. They drafted extremely well. They scouted extremely well. They got a lot of guys on rookie deals, and they built that into a champion. Okay, so that's the ultimate blueprint. So now, if you're a guy like you're Miami, you just had Jimmy Butler at like $40 million a year. You just had Kyle Lowry at $30 million a year. You want to get rid of that and start again with Jaime Jaquez, right? You want to start again with rookie contracts and young players and talent. You still got Bam Adebayo. You want to build off Khalil Ware with him, another rookie with a rookie contract, But that's what you want. That's the template. The Knicks did that. They built rookies off rookie contracts. Your R.J. Barrett, your Emmanuel Quickly, your your Obi Toppin, And then they traded them to get ready now players. OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, Jalen Brunson. And they got Jalen Brunson cheap. See? So that's how you build it. The Knicks have done it. Now we just have to keep it. We don't have to go get nobody else. We just got to keep what we got. And we got to make sure it's solid. That's it. Now, we're going to do a live cast later today, after, tonight, after you're going to have a whole flurry. I think it's going to be a more quiet, because of the money being tight, I think you're going to have a more quiet free agency than you would normally have at this time. But, we'll review it later and go over it. I'm hoping the Knicks are able to re-sign our guys, though. Precious, Shamet, and Wright. Those are the main ones. If we could re-sign them, that's good. We got Ariel Hukporti. We're going to find out about Najee. We're going to find out about Diawara. Are they ready for the NBA this year? We'll see. Somebody ain't going to make it, though. They got 3 two-way deals. Watson, McCullough, and Beauchamp right now. If Najee could ball, or if Diawara could ball, they might want to put him on the two-way and keep him over here. If that's the case, one of them other 3 guys ain't going to make it. Somebody getting cut. Tell you that right now. That's why I say this summer league, very important. We'll talk to you all later for real. Once my my modem arrives and we get internet back. Y'all enjoy your Monday. Be safe out there. Shalom.